Visions are best when shared. A shared vision reflects the mission and the values of the group. We are motivated by beliefs and goals we hold most sacred and in common with one another. We are keeping the real thing real. My name is Kathy Jewell, and I am the El Paso District Lay Leader. Every layperson is called to carry out the Great Commission. That's in Matthew 28, 18 through 20. Every layperson is called to be missional. That's in your book of discipline. Together as a team, the clergy and laity realize our combined ministry as we have been gifted and called to that ministry. We are all God's people in all places and in all times, and we are all called to love and to serve as one body. In the El Paso district, prior, during, and currently in the COVID, the laity have been actively engaged in lay servant and certified lay minister training, serving on district committees, providing leadership in local churches in new and creative ways, and keeping that real thing real in 2020 by using their gifts and talents to serve in missional ministry for Jesus Christ. The laity in the El Paso district, as throughout the New Mexico Conference, understand the three general rules of John Wesley. Do no harm, do good, attend to the ordinances of God by the means of grace. Laity have led their churches and community by serving as Jesus did, humbly and without resentment. This servant leadership is not about being more important than others, but to have a passion to make a difference, leading the way forward and making disciples for Jesus Christ. We have learned in 2020 that what it means to adapt, from ordering groceries online to hugging distant relatives virtually. Adaptive servant leaders are the lifeblood of the church. Through flexible leadership, learning technology, trying new ways of doing things, being lifelong learners, and sharing that learning with others. Changes in the districts and in the conference are keeping us all connected. Today is an example of that connection. Our ministry continues virtually and in person when safe. New Mexico laity seek good out of precarious circumstances, trusting God in all circumstances, and share a vision, mission, and values of the United Methodist Church. Laity leadership is the working with others in the development of a shared vision and enabling the articulation of that vision. God bless you and thank you.
Good evening, New Mexico Conference laity. My name is Sandy Correa, and I'm the Clovis District Lay Leader. This is my third year, and I love doing what I'm doing. The Clovis District covers the whole eastern side of the state, which I think this covers some of the most beautiful parts of New Mexico. The Clovis laity leaders that are on the Board of Laity are working very hard with the two other districts to give you, the laity, more opportunities for learning and growing in your faith journey. That being said, we as a board have come up with a mission statement that will help keep us on track to have that opportunity to learn and grow throughout the conference, whether it be by Zoom, a hybrid meeting, or even an in-person class throughout the coming year of 2021. We as a board are hoping that you will jump on that train and take the step of saying yes to becoming a lay servant speaker, a facilitator, or a CLM. Our goal is to help you become the person Christ wants you to be. As for me, I never thought my journey would have brought me to this point. I took a fast-track discipleship class with Dr. Doug Mills about 6 or 7 years ago. It fit my schedule perfectly, and I enjoyed it with all my heart. In this class, there was a spiritual gift test which was within the book we studied. In fact, I took 3 spiritual gift tests. Every one of them listed faith as my strongest gift. I, however, always saw myself as a person in the background, the busy bee worker. Never in the world would I have seen myself becoming one of the leaders in my local church, much less within the conference. After that, I took the beginning and advanced lay servant classes, then onto the CLM program. I even taught the beginning lay servant class and helped with the advanced lay servant class. I also rotate with the other CLMs and preach at Hope UMC. God has placed me on this path, and now I'm looking at maybe doing the local licensed pastor thing. I crossed that line last year at annual conference. I've had to change my plan just slightly due to our craziness in the world at the moment, but it's upon my heart, and I know I must jump on that train soon. I made the error of telling Bishop Bledsoe, as well as some others whom I value their opinions, that I was just too old to do this. Well, he was right. You're never too old. I have gained confidence in myself and knowing that Christ is leading me on this journey. It's an exciting path. Blessings to you all.
Greetings to all Methodists of every make, model, and of course persuasion, and welcome to the annual conference. This is certainly going to be an unusual one to say the least, but one that we'll all indeed remember. Hi, I'm Dan Salzwedel, and I'm honored to represent the lay leadership position for the entire Albuquerque district, which ranges from Raton, Vegas, Farmington, Gallup, Socorro, the Bosque, Los Lunas, of course, Belen, Santa Fe, and Albuquerque, and all that good stuff, and all points in between. Great conference. All right, this event promises to both be unique and, of course, a memorable one, to say the least. So many things you have and will take place during this time period, during the course of the conference itself. Our program for the laity, of course, is going to be a big part of this, the training sessions, information regarding lay servant classes, CLM classes, and of course, business sessions for both the laity and the clergy as well. Through the course of the year, we've done quite a number of things. Attended a lot of church conferences. We've spoke at several of the district churches, participated in several funding campaigns, and of course, trained the discipline with a number of you out here, which I really enjoyed doing. Something we're going to continue to do from our perspective upon request. We should always remember about the local churches on a micro level, just like on a macro level for the conference itself, that you're a member of the church and are its stewards, in fact. Its administration, sustenance, and growth are all responsibilities that we have to own. To that point, transformation of souls, discipleship, really starts and ends well with us. And those of you in this room and conference, and all the members of your local church, quite frankly, true conversion or possessing a commitment to Christ in your heart to one extent or another begins with each of us individually. And it's kind of critical, obviously, to our role in discipleship, the centerpiece of which is going to be role modeling. Now, as is true in my industry, education, it's the most important thing we'll be and will do. About 70%, almost 70% of what we learn is a mirror of what we see. True fact by the research. It's kind of like saying you want to see a good sermon. Well, it's mentioned prominently in our great playbook 25, 26 times, and indirectly numerous other times. So serving God through our behaviors on a daily basis is nothing new. It's best achieved, of course, by working or strengthening our character constantly within the church itself, in and out of the church. We know life is a series of choices. The bad, the good, and of course the best. All depends on what we do choose. The goal of discipleship, character development, to one extent or another, is not easy. I learned in my coaching, teaching, career, as well as playing days in sports, that those who are ultimately successful, and this is a great medium for learning, are positive about everything. They can take a hit, they can make a mistake, they can fail, and the best always seem to transform those negative experiences into something positive. so can we. I've never had an ultimately bad experience. I've had some that are uncomfortable in my life and thought they were bad in the very beginning, but they always seem to result in something positive in the end. It really is what you make it to be. We're indeed blessed. Remember, failure is the destiny of all who succeed, and think of what Jesus did and what he went through. We don't really suffer here, not in this country by comparison, so we got to fight for that in our secular life, by the way, too. Share experiences where you can during this conference and beyond it with others. Continue to relay your input to me at spratkid@aol.com or 321-2273. Get involved in classes. I don't care what they are, formal or informal training, some of it by myself. I'll be happy to come to your church as I've always done before to teach the discipline. All you have to do is call me. We'd love to get your input. Remember, what you say and what you do is really important, so I want you to tell me and make your presence known. Isn't that the role of a disciple? Share your story. Seek out those who are achieving a higher level in one program or another, have something new or increasing numbers. Whatever it is, try to find ways to improve what you do on a regular basis, just like we should all do, to be better people tomorrow than we are today. You should also know that your life is a sermon. And let's make certain that this one is the one that you want others to emulate always, and I know you do. Thanks for blessing me with your presence and your help in this rule in all time cases. I'm sure looking forward to seeing you. Prayers for health and blessings to all. Have a great conference.